Welcome to another video. This will be a short one. I just wanted to show you some hand flying that I'm also doing with this one. Today we are in Hawaii, on Hawaii. Pretty nice textures, I think, so it might look good. And as I said, it can be also flown with all of the silly stuff like, well, around like treetops and stuff, and like in a more dangerous way and maybe a fun way. So let's see how this works with this one. As I said, it's not obvious maybe because there are a lot of limitations, both when it comes to the engine and like the autopilot modes, but it can be done. So let me just go into the helicopter then. Battery and engine master, light, okay, fuel, engine, and we can go outside. Okay, so as you can see, this is like a different livery. There are a lot in the pack, which as far as I know, it's like normal for Cowan. They are always including lots of liveries. And from what I've heard, they are also considering doing like an additional livery pack, so then you would have even more. Okay, let me just lock this one, start this one. And as this is supposed to be a short video, let's just turn everything on. Okay, passenger signs, obviously. Maybe let's use the VIP passenger cabin for today. Okay, and we want to see 2 passengers. Okay, so let's see how this will look like. And now we have like a window here, and we can just move back with like custom views. It's not bad, and it's like also pretty well optimized, right? So I guess there might be higher res textures possible, but I think it does look good, and at the same time the performance in the aircraft is like great. So it might be a good compromise. Okay, so we need more N1. Okay, and we have the 70% that we need. So, not sure why this was on. Okay, generator 2, generator 1, inverters, radios. Okay, emergency lights. Let me make sure we have the handbrake. We do. We won't be really using GPS today. I will try to do everything by hand. We will see how this ends. I didn't crash this helicopter yet, but maybe today will be the day. Okay. Okay, more than one, please. And as you can see, no strange spikes that could be seen on, well, videos of some YouTubers. I think it's mostly due to the controls, how they are set up, because when I was checking my 2024 controls, there were a lot of conflicts, and this helicopter really badly reacts to conflicts, right? So you need to be sure there is no strange input that shouldn't be there, because like most of the code is custom because of those stabilization modes, right? So in this specific flight, I will not be using any, which will be like a little bit wobbly, I guess, but it might be more fun. We'll see. Okay, so as we are not using the GPS, we are pretty much ready, I think. Let me just double check if everything is fine. There is a thing with changing it from crossfeed to direct. This is something that is done in, well, all, I guess, other helicopters, but in this one it's not mentioned in the manual, in the checklists. I don't think it makes any difference, but if you want to be like fully realistic, it might be needed to change to direct feed from the tanks. Okay. I guess there was some wind. Let me look outside. It might be a little bit loud. Let me maybe make it a little bit more silent. So we can see the sock here. Okay, so the wind comes from the left, so let's try to prepare for that. Today we only have 2 passengers, right? So we will do like a vertical takeoff, which is more complicated without the stabilization on, but we will try to. And let's then go. Okay. Find the direction of the wind. Okay, now we can start. As you can see, still pretty docile, even without the autopilot stabilization. The main problem is pretty much the inertia of the helicopter, because it's pretty heavy. Okay, and as I said, fly it like you stole it, day, right? So I want to show you that it's possible to also do the fun helicopter stuff with it. I'm not like very good at it, but I'm doing it from time to time, and as I said, haven't crashed yet. So hopefully this will continue today. And normally there is a lot of like very good textures in Hawaii, so I guess we are just unlucky here still. Let's just proceed. Just need to get a feel for this one. Okay. As you can see, you can do all of the like Vietnam stuff that you can have seen on well, movies. It's without any stabilization. As you can see, it's pretty nice to control, probably better for a better pilot. We don't see any spikes in the engine parameters, which were a problem with like the prior versions. You can just have fun with it if this is what you prefer, right? So you can see sharp turns, everything is possible, right? Sometimes the fade deck will block you a little bit, so you need to watch out. Because as I said, it's like a civilian helicopter, it doesn't have this additional power that the military ones need. And it's not as agile as a scout helicopter like the 500 from Taox, for example. But you can do all of the usual stuff. Try not to crash, but at the same time to go pretty low. Oops, a lag there. And let's go up to the mountains. It's always more fun with some terrain. We do have some nice craters. No, those are not craters, volcanoes here, right? And I was also in the past flying around here, just visiting those volcanoes, like flying inside, which is also a lot of fun. Let me just add some speed here. As you can see, we have reached the limit there, so we need to watch out. Let me just trim this down a little bit, because it wants to go up a lot. Okay, so now we are climbing up the mountain, so we will need more power. We are at the limit. It's not a mountain flying helicopter, but it can totally do it as long as you well, don't expect too much from it. You can see like the radar altitude indicator is beeping from time to time because we are coming really low to the terrain. But we have a pretty like high mountain here, and there is no problem at all with climbing. Okay, so now let's go down. So we can do sharp turns in this one, like with any helicopter. I would like to have more visibility. Sadly, don't have any eye tracking. I was like trying out something in the past that was actually using like a normal webcam, and it was working fine. Lately, I have seen like a video of a real MH60 helicopter pilot, and he said he is using like an app for his mobile to track his eyes. So I haven't tested it before. Obviously, for this kind of flying, like going in those tight turns in terrain, having additional visibility would be perfect. Actually, I'm not sure if I'm not flying with gear down. Let me check. Yeah, exactly. So, okay. So what this pretty much means is that normally doing all of this crazy stuff that we are doing now, we would have even more power available. Okay, but now that I have like my gear up, the helicopter is warning me that the ground is too near, right? So at least with the gear down, we didn't get those warnings all of the time. At least it's not crying at us like the MH60, like pull up, which is really funny, like for a military helicopter. Okay, so we are back at the airport here. Let me just lose some speed then. Okay, let me bring the gear down. Okay, and let us bring the helicopter down. Okay, gentle. No stabilization at all. You can see like the wobbling to the side. It feels like much more fluent than the stabilization that was kind of blocking some of your movements. But like according to what I have read and what I have heard, this is pretty much what the stabilization is supposed to be doing, right? It's not always giving you like a fluent feeling like flying without any help. That saying, it is realistic to fly with all of the helpers, right? Because in the end, it's supposed to be safe in the real world and not only fun. Let me try to find the place where we wanted to land. So this is the sock that we already know. Let's make it a little bit faster to show you that it can be also done with fun included. Okay, not always very careful. If I crash it, then I do. It's just a showcase. Okay. Okay, just checking if the gear is down now. Losing some speed. Okay, and let's try to land close to this guy here. I'm sure he will be happy. Okay, he knows what's going. Oops, that's the wrong direction. Right. And very gently, we are down. Actually, the turn normally works better for me, but I think it was still pretty fun. So let me just make sure we have the brake. Okay. And we can turn off the helicopter. So I hope this was kind of fun. It was supposed to be just a short video showing that it's like totally flyable without what we have here. Okay, so thanks and see you in the future.